Guts, I'm Elaine, the Midnight Crafter, coming at you again from Salonika, Greece on my vacation. I've got a farmhouse DIY for you. I thought I'd change it up a bit since I've been doing some glam stuff, I've been doing some modern stuff, bring it back home to the farmhouse decor. It is a little decorative piece that holds flowers. It'll be nice on your porch or maybe on a table, and it goes really nicely, actually really cute, with the window one that I made recently, which I'll leave the link for below if you want to watch that video. Before we get to the DIY, I would absolutely love it if you would join our Glued Out family by hitting the subscribe button below. The bell next to it will inform you when I upload a video. Love to have you stick around. If you like my videos, give me a thumbs up. It really helps my channel, and if we can get this to, I don't know how many likes, how about 500? Let's just shot in the dark. Let's go for 500 likes. That would be awesome. Anyway, without further ado, let's do it. Starting out this project, I'm going to use these cosmetic wedges to paint our tin here that's going to be the body of our wheelbarrow. Now you can use a foam brush, whatever you would like. This way you just don't get any brush marks and you kind of get a little more uneven, rustic maybe look to your painting. So just gonna go in there and kind of just do our thing. And it doesn't have to be completely solid or anything, because you want it to have just a bit of an unfinished look sort of to it. I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to go in for a second coat once that dries. In the meantime, we're going to be painting these little magnetic containers, and these are going to be our wheels. You want to kind of paint them in the same way you painted the body of our wheelbarrow, so that way they sort of match and look like they're coordinated for a reason. And we're going to do that to all 4 of the wheels and let them dry. Now I'm going to go back, since the wheels are dry, and give another coat to the tin here. The nice thing about using these little makeup sponges is you don't have to sit and wash it out afterwards. When you're done painting, you can just throw them away. Love that. While we're waiting for those to dry, take the little garden stake that we got, remove the tag. I'm gonna use my good old alcohol to get that residue off of there from the sticker. I always have alcohol on my workstation because it's so great for removing adhesive and also for prepping any of your pieces that you're gonna, any glass pieces you're gonna glue together, just so there's no oils on them. So for me, that's a staple on my crafting table. Now what we're gonna be doing is removing, we want this little swirl and we want this, because this will be the pull handle for the wheelbarrow. So we're gonna use our wire cutters and we're gonna cut off at this point here behind the swirl, and at this point here. That way we have this centerpiece will still be supported. So I'm going to go in right there. It's a two-handed job. We'll save her for another DIY at some point. Never throw anything away. And then what I want to do, I'm going to be removing also this cute little thing because I have a DIY in mind for that for a later time as well. So one more time with the muscles, and we're going to cut off right here at this point is where we're going to be cutting that off. Save your cute little flower. Okay, so now we have this piece left, and what we're going to be doing is bending it in half, right about the halfway point. So you definitely want to use pliers because this is some hard wire. What we want to do is get these two sections closer together, and it's a lot harder wire than I thought it was going to be. So pliers are a must. Once you've wrangled this garden stake into this shape here, this top part here should pretty much line up. And what we're going to be doing is putting some hot glue and wrapping this with some of our jute twine so that we don't have any sharp edges, and plus it'll be really cute and give it a little more of that garden effect. So once you're satisfied with the way it's wrapped, finish it off with the hot glue and cut the excess off. And by now everything else should be dry, so we'll be ready to work on putting the rest of it together. So the next thing we're going to do is glue the wheels on. And we'll be adding our hot glue in E6000 and attaching all 4 wheels. Now that our wheels are glued on, the next thing we're going to be doing is gluing our foam block inside of the bin. And you can leave it wrapped if you want. I've seen some people leave it wrapped. I don't know. I feel like it just might be easier to poke the flowers in if it's not wrapped, so I'm just going to unwrap mine. And we're gonna throw some glue in the bottom here, a good amount of glue in there. Get this to stick real well. And then we'll be poking in the, I guess the handle you could call it. Now here's something, if you really are struggling and you cannot get this thing bent and shaped and all that, leave it longer and just poke it in further. I mean, just leave it straight if you need to and then poke it in. Got it poked in there, and we're going to go ahead and add in our flowers. Now, I'm definitely not one who's great at floral arranging, so I wouldn't follow my lead on that. It is just not one of my strong points. So do what you can with it. I guess I'm a better hairdresser than a floral decorator, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of play with it a little bit, but I'm going to actually cut my stems because I think for me it's just easier to put in something here and there and see how it how it lays instead of trying to just stick in stuff. So just do your thing, and then I'll be back to show you what I came up with. So don't judge, but here's what I came up with the flowers that I had to work with. And I feel like this is just too clean and too plain right now. So I think what I'm gonna do, first of all, is take a brown Sharpie and do it on a makeup sponge and go through and sort of dirty this up a bit. So what I'm doing here is putting it just directly on the sponge. And I'm just going to kind of go through and dirty this up a bit. It's just a bit too clean for me. I'm going to try a bit of alcohol on here and see how that works. Okay, that made no difference whatsoever. And my makeup sponge is falling apart. Alcohol and a makeup sponge, not a good idea. This was a fail. So we're going to try something else. I'm going to try a piece of paper towel. Probably what we should be doing is using some shoe polish instead of trying to do this with a Sharpie. But I didn't want you to have to go buy anything else. This is a fail. I will find something that works, just hang on. So adding alcohol to the Sharpie on the paper towel did help a bit in that it does give it a little more of that dirty look. So that does work. But really ideally probably use some shoe polish or something like that. So I'm also ending up wiping off some of the paint, but I'm going to keep working on this. So this is what happens with crafting, and all of those that right now are thinking, oh my goodness, this is a thumbs down kind of video. Just look at the end result. Don't hate, just look at the end result. Okay, I'm actually liking that a little better. This side more so, which is probably where I should have started since it's the back. But you know, you can always put more paint on top of it too, so it's really not a big deal. So the next thing I want to do is to use some of my jute twine and make some little spokes on the inside circle here. So I'm going to cut some strings. I'm cutting the strings the length of the inside circle, and I'm going to be crisscrossing those. I think that's given it a little more of a rustic look, and I really like the way that's turning out. So I'm going to do that on all 4 wheels. So here it is, all done and adorable. I will put it out and you guys can see what it looks like out on my porch.